Hello friends and fellow gamers, it's MKxJUMP here, and today we have the new event for Idle Heroes, releasing a brand new Fortress Assassin, and as well giving us heroic summons. Before we go check out this week's event though, I'd love to give a shout out to 4 new patrons who've decided to come and back me on Patreon. So a shout out goes to Carter.Muji and Spreemium. Thank you so much for your support, and if you guys want to be like those people and support the content I make here, you can find a link up there in the top corner of the screen, and as well guys, by being a patron of $3 or higher, you get access to account reviews available through Discord. As well, folks, this month is September over on Twitch, which means there is a discount for subscribes on Twitch. So if you've ever been curious about supporting the content I make over on Twitch, why not subscribe there too, just for this month, and get 20% off. Anyway, folks, let's go check out this week for Idle Heroes. This week we have heroic summons, which means a new hero and 30 scrolls every day for logging in. So make sure you log in and get the 21 scrolls for free throughout this week. It's pretty simple, guys. 21 scrolls isn't bad. Now, let's go check out what we have to do. First things first, I want to remind you guys the Hymn of Light is still here for almost 21 hours now, so make sure you go and cash in the fairies keepsakes you managed to save up. As you can see, I'm on the VIP series where we managed to max the whole thing out. That video is coming soon, so make sure to subscribe. And anyway, folks, let's go mosey on across to the cool events and see what we have in store for us. So first of all, the Palace of Eternity is a place where you can swap any of the heroes you see here for the new hero Saja. But a question many of you are wondering is it even worth it? Is Saja a good hero? Well, I will be reviewing her towards the end of the video, so make sure you stay tuned for that. Anyway, you can swap any of these heroes, going and putting them in, and it's going to cost you 10 Palace of Eternity crystals to go ahead and get the new hero. To get these crystals, you get them from the Palace of Crystal, so every 400 heroic summons you do, you'll get 5 crystals, unless you go to the value packages and buy the $100 package, which will give you the Palace Key. This key will unlock one of the areas at the bottom here, giving you an additional 15 for that 400. You need to buy an additional $100 package for each of these, so you need all 5 $100 packages to unlock all of the keys at the bottom. What's cool about Eternal Crystals is they don't get consumed this event if you don't use them. They will carry on over. So as you can see, I just have 10 Eternal Crystals just sitting here. So if I wanted to get a copy of Saja, I could pop in one of my Glorias, do that, and grab her, and that would cost me 10. I'm not going to do that, but that is always an option. As well, folks, don't forget Sky Labyrinth is here. If you haven't already, go ahead and do it. Go mine with those pickaxes, get the rewards. You still have 1 day remaining on that. Now, let's scroll on down. We have a mesmerizing package. This is interesting. It's going to cost you 50 bucks. It's going to give you 10,000 gems, which is more than you'd normally expect for that kind of money. It's also going to give you 100 scrolls, 200 million gold, and a 5-star luxury hero selection chest. I feel like a broken record, but it seems like DH Games are absolutely loving these kinds of packages where they cost you 50 bucks, they give you 10,000 gems, a luxury chest, and also some additional rewards as well. It's pretty much a carbon copy of what we had during the Onkiramaru event, and as well, guys, if you look here, Saja is available in this chest. So, a lot of you might be asking, is it worth it? Well, if you want the 100 scrolls, it's a pretty good way of grabbing them, and 10,000 gems is certainly nice. Gold is going to help you in Greydor's Blessing, which is actually here for the next 2 weeks, which is pretty nice. You can use this to go and build armor, but it will cost you lots of gold and lots of gems, which is why this package could be for some quite beneficial. However, what I've noticed on the VIP series, guys, is I actually have, I think, way too many 5-star chests for my own good, because I was just buying all these chests that give these luxury things, and it's very nice to just spend 50 bucks and grab it, but at the end of the day, I think after our massive spendathon, which we had last week, I don't know if I'm going to grab it on the VIP series. I don't know if it's necessary. Sure, the 200 million gold would be nice, and that would push me a little ahead. But then again, if I needed gold, I can just go to, I believe, the cool events and go to the monthly package, or is it the weekly package? There we go, it's the weekly package, and I can buy 50 million. Now, one thing you can curiously think about, guys, is actually to buy 200 million gold would cost you 20 bucks just flat out here. So the fact that you're getting it as part of this package and it's coming with a hell of a lot more and it's only double the price, then maybe it might be worth it. So it really depends. I'm going to weigh that up and I'll decide later on in the week. Again, subscribe if you want to keep up to date with the VIP series. Scrolling on down, we have the Hero Lottery. Every time you get a copy of Saja, you'll get yourself 3-star armor, which is okay. I guess you can destroy it and get the resources which are needed to make heroes, well, to make the resonance armor attuned to them, so that's pretty good. Now, the summon prizes are pretty standard for a Heroic Summons event. We've got our usual Prophet Orbs and Scrolls. We also have a Flame Strike coming in at 200, and for 300 you're getting the usual Soul Symbol and a Core of Transcendence. These Soul Symbols are necessary if you want to replace or regress heroes, so do grab them if you need it. I always recommend to people whose accounts are a little messed up that they use 300 Scrolls during a Heroic Summons event, just to get their hands on soul symbols so they can begin to do the tidying process, which is regressing or replacing heroes they need. Now, 400 is going to get you a copy of the new hero, pretty standard, and 500 will get you the usual 15 glorious relics and another core of transcendence. So this is a great opportunity for people who want to pick up the new hero. Is it necessary? Not really. I think you're best waiting for when Saja is available as a reward for Prophet Orbs if she was a hero you were wanting to build, because at the end of the day, I'd rather just have a ton of scrolls going into a very powerful hero that I need immediately, or a light and dark hero, or a Heroic Summons event that's offering plenty of rewards. And DH Games have been known to make big events Heroic Summons events. What were the big Prophet Orb events, such as Black Friday and Halloween, DH Games did go ahead and turn into Heroic Summons events. And as we're in September, October, November, December, it's all fast approaching. This is the period of the game now that I will refer to as the slump period, because there's no big Heroic Summon events coming really since Anniversary. However, as soon as we hit Black Friday, as soon as we hit Halloween, it's all going to get crazy. Then Christmas is immediately afterwards. Then we've got New Year, we've got Chinese New Year. It all will kickstart again come October. So folks, get ready to save your scrolls, in my opinion. I don't think you need to go chasing this new hero. As we move on to the Heroic Exchange event, this is really nice, actually. It's offering Eloise and Waldeck, two star-class heroes that are very, 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 very good at clearing their respective seal lands. I prefer Eloise here. She is the best first E5 in the game currently, in my opinion, so go ahead, pick her up, go wild, have a good time. Eloise is just fantastic, so I would definitely grab her if you can. Waldeck is nice if you need to clear Abyss Seal Land, and I actually have him at E5. If you want to see how he does, we're going to be doing the VIP Series Seal Land clears very soon with our E5 Waldeck. Can't wait to see how he does. Anyway, scrolling on down, we have the usual stuff finishing off. As I said, Graydor's Blessing is here. And yeah, that's just a good place where you can get armor, class-specific or resonant, to help out your heroes. But don't forget, it's very expensive, and make sure you've got the gold and gems. So yeah, that's it for this week. All pretty standard. Now, before I go check out the new hero, let's look at next week's event. And boy, oh boy, is it just basic. It's Imp's Adventure, Shelter Mission, and Graydor's Blessing carries on over. Not a lot to talk about. However, this Shelter Mission is pretty fantastic. We have Eloise in here, we have Olivia, Delacium, and Unimax. That's all really good. Unimax, one of the best first 10 stars in my opinion. Eloise, the best first E5. We have Olivia, a really nice support hero, and of course Delacium, who can be used on certain cheese teams, whether it's in PvE or the Vortex if you want to repeat those Jara stuns and CCs. But of course, there's a lot more than just Delaciums you're going to need to make that happen. You're going to need Splendid Demon Bells and a Splendid Receptor. But anyway, look at this. Carry. This is really good. Offering Carry as the hero available in Shelter Mission is crazy, and DH Games really don't let up with giving us copies of Tussalago. They're aware she's not good, so they're not afraid to throw her at us. And yeah, it's a little disappointing we're getting Tussalago. But Carry is really nice. Carry is a very, very powerful hero. Energy Steal is insanely good. Even just a 5-star can help out your team, especially in Seal and Dark. So folks, this is really nice. Grab it next week, but of course we'll talk about that more in a week's time. So folks, the question on all your minds, is the new hero any good? Well, based on my preliminary views and taking a look at this hero, reading her stats, you might be at first thinking, oh, she seems pretty good. Her speed stat, really high, 1232. Her armor is 1554. Now, these two stats really annoyed me for one simple reason. It is literally a copy and paste of Faithblade, and that becomes more apparent when you look at her skills. Let me just remind you about Faithblade's active. It deals an amount of damage against 2 random enemies with the lowest HP, so that's not random at all, and deals an extra bit of damage that ignores armor, and further damage to that equal to 20% of the target's lost HP. In addition, he has a 100% chance to stun targets with HP no less than his own, which basically means more than himself. Annoying double negative there for no less. But either way, pretty standard active skill, double stun, enemies with the lowest HP, 3 damage components. We have the basic damage, we have the armor ignoring damage, and then damage equal to the lost HP. So let's go ahead and look at the new hero's active skill, and believe it or not, it's literally a copy and paste. It deals damage to the 2 enemies with the lowest HP. It's then going to do another bit of damage, which is going to be poison, dealing 640% of damage for 3 rounds, and as well, she will deal extra damage equal to 800% of the attack that also ignores armor, and it will deal damage to only mesmerized targets. In addition, the mesmerized targets will get a 90% chance to stun, but if it's upgraded and imprinted, that becomes a 100% chance to stun, and as you can see, all the attack goes a lot higher. Now, the first thing I want to say about Saja is she has way bigger damage numbers than Faithblade, but her stun is a little bit iffy. You can't just whack an energy artifact on Saja and expect her to stun, because the opponents need to be mesmerized for the stun to come in. And you might think that her final passive over here is going to be the answer. When the battle starts and at the end of each round, she has a 100% chance to inflict mesmerization to 2 random enemies for 1 round. Now, mesmerization will reduce the damage that she takes from these targets, and that's it. Doesn't sound like it's very exciting, just increases her damage reduction against the heroes affected, which is nice. It's a pretty good ability, but that's what allows her to be able to stun and do this extra damage. Now, the annoying thing with the wording here is it says 2 random enemies, whereas her active skill is the enemies with the lowest HP. So there is a good chance at the start of the fight, the enemies with the lowest HP won't even be mesmerized at all, because it's 2 random enemies. It could go with the 2 highest, the 2 in the middle. There's 6 opponents to fight. The only major thing here is that actually in broken spaces, where you normally face only 2 enemies, you can actually mesmerize them, because it's a skill effect, not a control effect, which means you will get that additional 1000 armor ignoring damage from her active skill, which is very nice. So I can see her being good in broken spaces for that reason, but that's not really something you need a hero to do these days. Broken spaces is already super duper easy, so it's a little disappointing. Now, you might find because she's good at broken spaces, she could also be good against arc bosses, which would be good. It's nice to have a hero that could be good against arc bosses that isn't Ithaca or Sword Flash. So I hope that's the case. I haven't tried her out in there, but I really hope this mesmerizing can make the difference. But you can't stun those enemies, so that's a bit annoying, and so the stun is a bit redundant. So the stun comes up in PvP, but will it come up in PvP? Again, as I said, it's random, so you can't really give her an energy artifact and hope she's going to stun round 1. Now, how do we fix this? Well, let's look at her basic attack. It targets the enemies with the lowest HP. Oh, sorry, not enemies. It targets 1 enemy with the lowest HP. And then, of course, we'll do additional poison, and she can actually mesmerize them, which is nice. And if the target's already mesmerized, she could stun them. So that's actually really nice. You can potentially stun lock the opponent with the lowest HP. That's good. But stun locking 1 hero isn't that amazing in PvP. I'll level with you. And something I mentioned on stream that I will mention here is if Saja does become a very relevant hero in PvP, what you can do is just ensure that your lowest HP hero has a candy bar, and then they're stun immune. Or just ensure that your lowest HP hero is stun immune, such as a Faithblade or a Mim or a Michelle. These are all crap. You wouldn't run those in PvP. But either way, yeah, Sherlock would actually be a pretty good contender here. In fact, if this becomes a thing, I can see Augustus Magic Ball Sherlock's just popping back in, because then you just reflect the stun back at the opponent, and they're going to feel a little bit silly, because that's going to increase health swaps. He's going to have AMB. It's just going to be a good time. So I see Sherlock actually being a really nice counter if she becomes a relevant hero, especially if he's running an Augustus Magic Ball and is focused on being the lowest HP hero on your team. So that's something worth bearing in mind if she does become relevant in PvP. But honestly, I don't think she will. Sure, you can get massive damage out of this hero if you pair her with a Rogan, but you can say that about any assassin. Literally, if you get 2 Rogans and you give them Splendid Demon Bells and you're just running an energy feed team, assassins will just pop off. But big damage isn't really the way PvP is going at the moment. It's all based around sustain. So a sustain team could just pop in a Sherlock and then laugh at you as you attempt to blow them out the water with a Saja, because Saja will just focus that Sherlock, and as I said, he'll just reflect the stun using his magic tricks, and ta-da, you're going to feel a bit silly. So Saja, I wouldn't say is going to be relevant with her stun in PvP. Honestly, if I wanted to run a hero to stun, I would be using a Cruz with a Ruyi Scepter, or I would be running a Gloria, in fact, with a Golden Crown, just to make her really tanky. And Gloria is actually a better stun platform than Saja, that's for sure. So yeah, it's too situational. Mesmerization doesn't work very nicely. And one thing I just want to complain about, go look at this basic attack. It says mesmerization. For a company that makes millions a month, mesmerization. How can they get that typo so consistent? It says mesmerize, mesmerize, mesmerize. Yet even here in the small print, it says mesmerized. Come on, DH Games. Proof reading. The one thing I didn't also mention is that it's just lost on them. Can they just please get English translators that understand innuendo? Because they've called this mesmerizing package. I'm sorry, you can't call something a mesmerizing package. That just means something completely different if you guys speak English and understand innuendo. I could say, hey guys, I've got a mesmerizing package and it doesn't even cost me 50 bucks. Tee-hee. Anyway, that's me ranting a little bit, but basically it just feels like they, it's just an oversight there, and it really upsets me when a company worth this much actually, fails to deliver in that sense. Also, the animation is a little annoying. If I click her, watch this. She just magically turns invisible, disappears off the screen. Really, really, really unimpressive. It's very, well, just low quality, really. And if I actually click on her as well, you'll see that the arm is completely disconnected. It's something that's always been a problem with the animations in Idle Heroes. It's just completely ragdoll. They don't actually make an animation. They're just dragging the image around. But it's really apparent here. You can see that arm looks completely broken. And it's just something that really upsets me, along with the fact she turns invisible. It wouldn't be so much of an issue, and I wouldn't be pointing it out if it wasn't for this typo. But again, for a company worth millions, it's a real shame that they can't afford just people that can just proofread things or get animators that actually know what they're doing. But hey, there you go, folks. That's Saja. I don't think she's going to be that impressive. Maybe she'll be doing some stuff in PvE, but in PvP, I don't think she's going to do much. Apart from maybe in mid-game, she'll be popping off a little bit. But that's unlikely considering she's an assassin that deals damage. And let's be honest, the last few assassins that came out that deal big damage and target 2 enemies with the lowest HP haven't been impressive. Ithaca, Tussalago, Saja, they're all not that great in PvP because they're going for the weaker opponents and they're just going to get smacked by the big boys, and those big boys are going to be wearing golden crowns and you're eventually just going to get blown out. And Saja herself is also going to be really squishy unless she's mesmerized the opponents, and that's just random, and it's only for a round and it's 2 random enemies, so you'll probably have to run a bunch of Sajas, and for every Saja you're running, it could be a completely different hero, it could be a Transcendence hero, it could be someone better, and if you wanted stun, I'd rather just run Cruz or Gloria. So she's not giving me anything impressive. I don't think she's going to be that good. Maybe someone will figure out a clear with her in Fortress Sealand, but honestly, Sealands are pretty much hacked at the moment, so woohoo, a Void Form might do Fortress Sealand. It may actually come into play with the new Sealand update that's coming out in a few weeks, so yeah, that could be something, but for now, she's not impressing me, and if you do want to pick up a copy, I would say wait until she's available in Profit Orbs. So there you go, folks. That's my review. I don't think she's that great. I think she's a carbon copy of Faithblade. And yeah, let me know what you think in the comment section down below of whether you think this hero is good. Let me know what you think about this event. Are you getting that package? Is this just going to be a snooze week for you? Let me know, folks. I love to hear what you say. And even though I don't reply to everything, I definitely read them. So yes, thank you guys. I'll see you next time, and happy idling.